Well, Ian, what was your verdict on that performance?
I think it was a good exercise for us. I thought first half we were very good, create a lot of good chances. I think across the whole game we created lots of chances. But I think today we kind of got a little bit exposed on where some of our weak spots will be, which is what these games are for. Because you can't sleepwalk into the season thinking everything's perfect. You know, we're far from a finished article. We're still on the way up. But I still saw a lot of good elements. Some really nice football, created a lot of really good chances, but the goals we concede are quite weak, really, and the way that they come, the two counter attacks, one's a cross from wide, so that, you know, they're areas that we've certainly got to pay attention to.
What did you learn specifically about your team today?
I think it's off-ball work, really. I think in possession, we had a little lull early on in the second half where I felt like that we lost the tempo a little bit. But we picked it back up. We created a couple of great chances. But you know, when you don't take the chances, you've got to be really ruthless without the ball to stop any counters and make sure you defend well, which we didn't do. So I think the work when we lose the ball is probably the area that we learnt most about.
How pleased were you with some of the attacking play today, particularly through the likes of Roberts and Cairo Mitchell, who looked quite lively at times, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you watch some of the. I'm sure I'll watch it back, and some of the patterns and the way in which we attack is great. You know, it's the really exciting chances that we create over and over, really. But like I say, that's a bit that I know that we've developed a lot on. It's now what comes alongside having so much of the ball and committing so many bodies forward. You see, the first goal came when Chicks from the left centre half has overlapped, and then we haven't corrected in the middle, and then we've been caught on the counter. So you know, it's just paying attention to what we do without the ball, or when we're attacking, what our players are doing behind the ball.
How good of a test was this today? Because obviously they're just a week away from starting their season, and they looked a very, very useful side.
They're a very good team, very well organised, a lot of experienced players. I mean, they've beaten Middlesbrough, I think they beat Newcastle, drew Sunderland in their pre-season, so it's not a big surprise that they came here and was a difficult test a week before their season starts. We knew that they'd give us a different kind of test to Derby. They didn't really build up from the back, but they played a lot of long balls deep into our half to Beck. But we're going to have to face that kind of challenge. A lot of teams are going to do that to us, so it was a great test for us.
You obviously brought Cairo Mitchell into the club during midweek. You gave him his debut today. How did you rate his performance?
I thought he did great, considering he's had like 2 sessions really to kind of get together with how we want to play. A lot of his movements were good. I thought he was a threat in the box, held the ball well, so a good start point for him.
And obviously he played alongside Carl today. You've obviously got Ruben to come back as well. How pleased are you with the attacking options at your disposal? Absolutely.
Plus Eli came on and affected the game, and then you've got Cal as well just in behind that. So I think we've got a lot of good attacking options now, and you can see the goals are again coming from different areas. Cal and then Joel. Okay, it was a cross, but the goals are coming from different areas, which is great.
How pleased are you with it overall so far, your pre-season campaign?
I think from a physical perspective, you know, unfortunately Lewis got injured against Boston, but other than that, everybody's come through. I know Ruben's had his COVID thing, but everybody's in good shape from a physical perspective. On the pitch, I think we've had some really good actions. You know, I thought we played a good game against Derby. I thought large parts of this game were good, but we're also been exposed to some areas that are obviously weak spots, and that's what the pre-season's for. So that's what we've got to go to work with next week.
Yeah, presumably it's better to have these bumps in the road now than the actual, because I know a lot of people put focus on results in pre-season, but you'd rather have a couple of bumps in the road rather than just sailing through it and winning every single game.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd rather learn about my team and where we're at and have an honest discussion about that rather than sleepwalk, like rolling teams over and then you get caught out in the first few games of the season. I've been in a position where, you know, in pre-season we've battered teams and then gone in early on and struggled. So for me, it's really important that we take the lessons from the game and you know, work hard on that. And the only thing that matters is that when we get out of Barnet on the opening game, we're well prepared.
I just want to ask you about transfers. Tiernan Brooks, I know there was mention of him going out on loan somewhere. What's the latest you can tell us with the goalkeeping situation? Will you be looking to add another goalkeeper?
No. I mean, with Tiernan, wherever Tiernan goes, if he goes to get game time, it will be just for some game time on a Saturday, and that means that we'll still have him through the week in terms of training. Jake Keane's still registered as a player and trains as well, and we have Sam. So at the moment, unless I feel If I feel like Sam has got an issue, we can call Tiernan back, or we can bring in a loan. But at the moment, I don't think we need another permanent option there.
And just elsewhere, because William Hundermark, obviously his trial spell's ended. Are you still looking for a midfielder there to fill the gap, possibly, or not?
Not at the moment. I feel quite comfortable with what we've got, unless something dramatic popped up. I doubt that we'll do much more. I'm quite content with the way in which we've done the transfer market and the players that we've got in. So I think now it's important to bring this team together and work as a unit.
And Frank Vincent, we're still waiting to see him, aren't we? I mean,
Tuesday.
We're all looking forward to seeing him. How's he been getting on in training?
Good. He's probably had 2 full weeks now, I would say. So I think he's ready to start the game on Tuesday night. That's what we've earmarked for him. So we're still balancing minutes, like Chickson came off today. It wasn't a performance thing, it's just because he'll play 90 minutes against Tamworth. Frank Vincent, we saved him today so he can play a little bit more. So we've got all these games and it's important that we do it in the right way. So Frank will play on Tuesday. He's doing well, so you'll get your first look then. I
was going to say, what can we expect from him? And is he? How different is he to the other midfielders that you've already got?
Yeah, he's different. He's I'd say you kind of got Ed that sits in his calm, composed on the ball. You've got Jim that's full of energy. I'd say kind of Frank sits between the two of them. He can drop down and get on the ball, but he's got plenty of energy to get about the pitch as well. So bit of a hybrid.